had done previously. Then we had 5 connectives. So once we have a proposition is a declarative sentence to which we can assign a truth value, either true or false. We need not have a single proposition. We can have many propositions combined by these connectives. 5 symbols we introduced. So we are having proposition or combination of propositions. Proposition we use synonymously as statement. Whenever I say a mathematical statement, you can tell me whether that mathematical statement is true or false. If I say conjecture or paradox, we cannot say whether it is true or false. We don't know. So this mathematical proposition or mathematical statement, instead of saying this lengthy, I am simply saying that proposition or statement. Whenever I say proposition, it is actually mentioning single proposition, and also it may be a combination of propositions. The combinations are the combination is done by these connectives. So this is just definition based on truth tables. What do we mean by R and implication symbol? We can talk about double implication also, which is defined in this way. Double implication is actually two simple implications combined by the connective and then each proposition or combination of propositions can be viewed as a function from a set to another set. It is based on the connective. Suppose if you use R as the connective, then the domain is Cartesian product of two sets. If you use implication, again the domain is combination of two sets. Look at this proposition. This is actually combination of propositions combined by the connectives. This, or I will call this as expression. This expression, which is combination of statements, is actually a function from Cartesian product of three sets. 2. The codomain is always T, F because you want to assign truth value T or F. Then we defined logically equivalent expressions or logically equivalent propositional functions. If the truth values are same, exactly same. Look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth column and sixth column. The last two columns, the entries are exactly same. The truth value is completely same. Then we say that this proposition and the other proposition are equivalent to each other. That we denote by this symbol, equivalent symbol, 3 horizontal small lines. Whatever is on red color is just an example. Definition is that two ways of definition you can say. Say I say two propositions are equivalent if one is obtained from the other. In other words, they have the same truth table value. So far we discussed in terms of truth tables. And immediately we applied this equivalence to define one function and its equivalent definition. Whatever is on the blue color, we have already discussed, we have already applied. Now we are justifying why it is correct. There are two definitions in blue color, both are equivalent to each other. Reason is that we have seen this truth table and we established that two expressions are equivalent. The same happens here. This is just application of that propositional theories. Now we would like to define another thing. A proposition is called a tautology if it is always true. As an example, I am giving P or negation P. One of them will be true all the time. So this expression is a tautology. You can write many other expressions. This is the simplest one. Definition 3 talks about another expression which is always false. Look at the example. P and negation P. Both must be true. That cannot happen. So whenever I give an expression which is always false, I call it as contradiction, or I call it as absurdity. Absurd result. It cannot happen. It is always false. And few other equivalent results are mentioned here. Equivalent expressions or equivalent propositions or equivalent statements. Any terminology you can use. All these 4 equivalences can be verified with truth tables. Look at the last one. P implies Q is equivalent to not Q implies not P. This we have already verified with truth table. Look at third one. P implies Q is equivalent to not P or Q. This is called as law of implication. This also can be verified with truth table. So far we are just verifying with truth tables. And also we indicated start from the left side, step by step write something and finally reach the right side. Deductions. How do we deduce? If you do that, that also is okay, acceptable. Instead of comparing the truth tables, you can start from left side, step by step, you can deduce, and finally you can reach the right side. For such things, we need some other rules, which we call as inference rules or rules of inference. Rules of inference. Or let me discuss about inference theory. Inference theory is discussing about. Have you ever heard about this inference already? Somebody tell me. What is the meaning of inference, first of all? English meaning. Say something. Hereafter it's a little new. We have not seen this so far. At least new for us. I want to discuss about inference theory. Somebody speak. Have you seen this already or not? Can you tell me the English meaning of inference? Conclusion. Someone types. Inference is conclusion. So here inference is drawing conclusion. Okay, I give you two, three sentences I give you. From that, you can conclude some other sentence. How do you conclude? Step by step, you will be doing it.
Hello, sir.
Tell me.
Inference theory, sir.
Yes.
Correspondent inference theory is a physiological theory, sir.
Corresponding?
Inference theory is a physiology theory, sir.
What theory it is? Inference theory is a?
It's physiology theory, sir.
Pathology.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not understanding it. Can you type it? Or
Okay.
can somebody tell me what he says? It's not little clear here. Pathology theory. Psychology or pathology? What do you say? Pukya Anusha has typed conclusion. Sai Dattu says it is a pathology theory or what it is? Oh, psychological theory. Okay. Psychologically, what you need is you need to draw conclusions. Both are okay, but instead of saying psychological theory, it's theory of, okay, let me write down, theory of drawing conclusions. Inference, let me write down what is the meaning for this. Inference is actually drawing conclusions. Roughly. Psychologically, psychology may be different for different people. So we need mathematical conclusions. Anybody can do it. They also should get the same conclusion. That kind of thing we need. So you have many premises. Premise is hypothesis. Many premises you are having and you need the same conclusion. Anybody can do it. This kind of thing we need. It need not be single premise. It may be conjunction or disjunction of premise. Let me write like this. Many premises you are having. From there you should get one conclusion. Shall we try for an example? Shall we try for an example? First premise. If today is Monday, you say if today is Tuesday, right? If today is Tuesday, then we have math class. This is one premise. And another thing, okay? This is one conjunction I'm using. And another thing I'm using. Today is Tuesday. This kind of two premises I give you. What's the conclusion you can give me? You see, two sentences I have written. Can you give me some conclusion?
We have a maths class.
We have math class. Anybody can try for this inference. Nobody can escape from this conclusion. We have math class. Everybody will get the same conclusion. I cannot say we have no math class. What happens if I say we have no math class today? If I say somebody is making a mistake, they are concluding in that way, or no math class, then what is the problem? I'm having this is true. I'm having this also is true. Both true statements I'm taking. Just out of curiosity, I'm asking you. If somebody conclude that we have no math class, what is the problem? Where did they do a mistake? What went wrong? Or why we cannot get the conclusion that we have no math class? Are you understanding? Or let me put it in another way. somebody is concluding we have no math class. Somebody is concluding. Okay. Again with the same thing. Is it correct? First of all, tell me whether this is correct or not. Which one is correct conclusion? Already you told the red color one is correct conclusion. Is this correct conclusion or not? That's my question. Can somebody tell me?
No, sir.
How do we decide this is incorrect? Let me quickly tell you. I already know today is Tuesday. So this is okay. If today is Tuesday, then we have math class. That also I know. So I am having we have math class in hand. But I conclude we have no math class. These two things are contradicting each other. Proof by contradiction. Maybe. Let us come to these things later. As of now, we conclude like this. That's all. So inference theory is getting these kind of conclusions from the set of many propositions joined by connectives. This may be conjunction of premises, disjunction of premises. Premises is actually set of premises or set or combination of premises. That's why I'm using plural premises or hypothesis. Set of assumptions. Anything is fine. Now we have two type of inferences. One is valid inference, meaning correct conclusion. Another one is faulty inference. Valid inference is correct conclusion. Faulty inference is that the conclusion is incorrect. We did a mistake in between. There are three possible mistakes are there. We may look at those things also. What can we do as a mistake? Maybe that we shall come little later. First of all, we shall give three possible mistakes. Okay. Or just let me write down. Valid inference is correct conclusion. This is incorrect conclusion. First of all, we do not worry about whether the conclusion is true or false. That we shall give now. Valid inference. Maybe let me write down this here. These are possible. And also, I would like to mention one more note. Suppose if you have valid inference, you will be having a conclusion. Conclusion in a valid inference need not be true. Is not necessarily true. Meaning, we are not worrying about whether the conclusion is true or false. Look at the previous slide. We are worrying about whether this is happening or not. We are checking this implication. The conclusion may be false. That's okay. But whether this implication is happening or not. So first of all, we shall be defining one definition we shall write. The definition is that we want to define what is logical implication. First of all, we have an implication P implies Q. This may be true or false based on the situation. Okay. Suppose if this is always true, that implication is called as logical implication. An implication is logical implication if P implies Q is always true. We call this as, we say P logically implies Q. Or sometimes we say Q is logically implied by. This logical term, you note it, implied by, or instead of that, logical consequent, because it's like active voice, passive voice. P logically implies Q. Q is logical consequent or logical conclusion of this P. What else we can do? We can note that logical implication is special implication. That's all. What kind of speciality it is having? It is always true. Only now this thing, recall this. We are checking only this implication. We don't worry about whether conclusion is practically valid. It is having any practical absurdity, that we don't worry about. Just recall this. Revisit this part. Meaning you are having many premises, they are logically implying this conclusion. Anybody can try, they also should get the same conclusion, meaning this implication is always true. Let us look at an example. So here we are not worrying about the conclusion. Conclusion in a valid inference is not necessarily true. Just one example we shall look at. If CSE HOD, I'm writing on my own, CSE HOD uses Google Meet. Then he is a student. I have written this. Then another statement I am writing, similar to the same previous example. CSE HOD uses Google Meet. What can you conclude from these two? If CSE HOD uses Google Meet, then he is a student. That I have given. It is true statement. Another statement I give you, CSE HOD uses Google Meet. Can somebody tell me the conclusion? Can you say anything further? What can you conclude from these two things? Yeah, somebody try for this conclusion. From these two statements, what can you infer? Any inference can you make? This is not a difficult question, I hope. Can someone try? So roll number 16, 24, 32.
Yes.
Yes. Can you give any conclusion?
Sir, he is a student, sir.
You say he is a student. You say he is a student. You are right. So let me write it down first. He is a student. This is a valid inference. This is a valid inference. We are happy about it. Okay. But the conclusion is false. That's okay. Conclusion is having the truth value f. We are checking whether these two statements give you this final conclusion or not. That's all we check. We are not going to check truth value of the conclusion. Are you understanding this? This is a valid inference. We concentrate on premises gives conclusion. We are concentrating on this. Or simply we say that we are concentrating on the implication premises implies conclusion. That's it. We do not worry about truth value of conclusion. Are you following? Is it clear? Look at this rule. Here you are having P implies Q. Then P implies Q is true. That's what you have there. Then CSE HOD uses Google Meet. This means P is true. I am asking you conclusion. I am telling you P implies Q is correct. And also I tell you that P is correct. P is true. So what do you conclude? You are concluding that Q is true. This is like a formula. We know that CSE HOD is not our student. He is already a professor. The conclusion is false. But what do we check? Whether based on the given statements, what is the conclusion? Whether the conclusion is implied by the statements. Whether the set of statements give you that conclusion, that inference, that drawing conclusions. That's what we are concentrating on. Are you following? If any of you have questions, you can ask me. Or you can say to proceed further. You can do it. We need logical implication. Logical implication means that anybody can come and check. Every time it should be correct inference. This should be a true statement. Conclusion may be incorrect. So, one more thing we will do. The same thing, let me write down little here. Hi, someone tell me, are you understanding this? Instead of this, let me P implies Q. What else I have? P implies Q and P. P implies Q and P. What else I have? P implies Q and P. Whether this implies Q or not, that's the question. Just let me try for the truth table. TFFT. FF. P implies Q. So if Q is true, it is always true. This is the only thing false. This and P both must be true. First column and third column both are true. This implies Q. T implies T. Okay. Remaining things input always false, so the final thing is true. So what do we have? This implies logical implication. This is always true. Meaning when you have two statements in this form, they always give you this conclusion. This is logical implication, meaning anybody can compute this conclusion, anybody can do inference, they all will get the same conclusion. The conclusion is having truth value false, that's okay. We are just checking according to this rule whether the conclusion will be obtained or not. That's what I have written here. We concentrate on the implication, whether we are getting that conclusion or not. That's all we check. Yes, we are getting that conclusion. Done. Conclusion is incorrect. Conclusion is having false truth value. All those things comes later. Are you following? Now we need this kind of rules, whatever is on the black color, or we need this top right kind of rules, so that if I give you any set of premises, you can conclude based on those rules. This is just illustration. So based on the truth table, we observe that the top right rule is correct rule. That we apply for the CSC HOD Google Meet situation. Now I would like to list down the rules. Maybe we together will try for that. First, let me give you a few fundamental rules which are very simple. Then we shall go further. Fundamental rule 1. Suppose if I give you P and P implies Q. Two things I have given. What conclusion you can give me? What I am giving you is P and this. Just try for conclusion. This implies what? Is it? Can anybody say this? Quick. This is called as rule of detachment. There is a name for that. Modus ponens. This is also a name. Quick. Look at this left side. You can decide based on that. Two statements are given. Therefore, this means this is true. I should write like this. P is true. This is true. What should you conclude? Quick.
True, sir.
Which one? Can you give me any letter here? I have not written the conclusion. What inference you can make? There is nothing different. I have interchanged these two. Two statements I have given. P is true statement. If P is true, then Q is true statement. So the conclusion here you should write. Can you tell me now? I should expand. P is true. The same example, let me give you, if it is difficult with letters, imagine a situation. Instead of P, I am writing today is Tuesday. P implies Q, meaning if today is Tuesday, implies, if you don't want, leave this if. Today is Tuesday implies math class. From these two, what can you conclude? This implies what? Are you understanding? Pradeep Kumar, rule number 42. Preeti, Priyanka, Rishabh. Yes, say something. What do you conclude from these two sentences?
Today we have max class.
This conclusion. Instead of this, I am giving P. Instead of this, I am giving P. Instead of this, I am giving Q. What do you conclude in this place? Can somebody tell me that? Is Q. Or in other words, I will say this is tautology. meaning this is always true. What we do is that we are considering a situation. Today is Tuesday. Tuesday means math class. All those situations we consider, then we formulate the rule. Then we want to abstract this. I'll try another rule. Another rule I give you. P implies Q. This implication is true and this implication is true. What can you conclude? Therefore, can you conclude anything? I am having this implication is true. That comes later, of course. And this implication is true. What can you conclude? First, come for the left side. Here I am not saying P is true, Q is true and all. I am saying implication is true. Are you understanding this? Whenever the symbol comes, implication is true. Can you conclude anything? Try for that. This is called as transitive rule. Or law of hypothetical syllogism. These are names for that. But always remember the practical thing, the analogy. What do you think? Somebody tell me. What do you think? Whether it is correct or incorrect doesn't matter. Say something here. We shall write all the possibilities, then we shall decide which is more appropriate. Anybody wants to say anything? I should call your name or what? Murali Krishna, Swati, Shriman, Pradeep. Whether are you there or not? Imagine an analogy. Suppose if you come to campus, okay, campus implies hostel life only, no other way. If you are in hostel, you should have use the hostel mess only. From these two, what do you conclude? Only this information I give you. If you reach our campus, you must stay in hostel. If you stay in hostel, then definitely you must take hostel mess food only. So let me say you have reached campus. What else you can conclude?
If we come to campus, then we have to use the hostel bus. R is tautology.
You have to come to this place.
Yes, sir.
There is no other way. P implies Q, Q implies R. This is very elementary. You think something different probably. P implies R.
Sir, but
tell
for
me.
that one we need to give P is true, na sir.
That we need not give. Here only we are concentrating on this part. Only that implication. I give you, say for example, suppose if you keep one mountain on my head, I will lift it up. I will throw it away. This is valid implication. Are you understanding? If that kind of thing we agree, we are not uh, saying that you reached the campus. I am saying that if you keep one mountain on my head, then I will throw it away for 200 kilometers. That I agree, that implication I am agreeing. If you keep, or instead of saying, whatever, are you following? I am concentrating on implication only, whether this implies that or not. If you put one mountain on my head, meaning if you are keeping, okay, you are not throwing it. If you keep one mountain on my head, then I can throw it away. This implication I agree. This statement is correct. That's what I am agreeing. I am not checking whether P is true, whether Q is true. All those things I do not check. Whenever I write this simple right arrow, it means implication is true. P can be false, Q can be false. All those things I don't worry about. This implication is correct. Are you following this?
Sir, you gave an example, na sir. If today is Thursday, then Tuesday we have maths class.
Yes.
Then we need to give a statement. We need to compulsory give a statement, na sir. If it is Tuesday today, then conclusion is today we have maths class.
Okay.
The same thing here also, na sir.
I gave one other thing. Here I am giving you two statements. No, I am giving today is Tuesday. That you are using here. If you don't give this, you cannot use this. You cannot take whether it is true or false. We don't know. Today is Tuesday. That's okay. If you read tomorrow? We are not sure. Are you following? You repeat your question again. Repeat your question again.
Sir, if today is Tuesday, then we have maths class, na sir. That is one statement, which implication statement. And second is we are saying that today is Tuesday. Then we'll finally come to conclusion that today we have maths class.
Yes.
The same thing here also, na sir. If
okay, P implies Q. I have given. P is true or P is false, that I have not given to you.
Then we can't say, sir.
You are saying this. Let us slightly change this according to that. This is what. Instead of Tuesday, let me write Sunday. Still, this is valid. If today is Sunday, then we have math class. That's what I give you. Today is Sunday. I am giving you this also. Then, based on these two sentences, I am getting this conclusion. This is a valid inference. Practically, it is incorrect. Don't worry about it. Are you understanding? Here you can give, suppose if we are in planet Sun, Then we have mass class. And I give another statement. We are in planet Sun. I'm not worrying about here. What I have is that I'm having P implies Q. Implication is true. Then I say that P is true. Here, in the last thing, I am saying P implies Q, that implication is true. Another implication I am giving you true. Only this can happen. If P is true, then you will be having R.
Okay, sir.
If
Understood.
P, then Q. If Q, then R. Suppose if I have this kind of two implications, finally what do I write? Therefore, if P is true, then R will be true. Only if it is happening there. Look at this green color sentence. If you put one mountain on my head, I will throw it away. Then I will be saying, if I throw it away, I will say, I will, what can I say further? Throw it away. It will be broken into pieces. Two implications I have given. Now I'll ask you. If you keep one mountain on my head, what will happen? Not I will be broken, mountain will be broken. If it will be broken, okay. If you keep one mountain on my head, what will happen? That will become into pieces. That's all. Okay, I think we have exceeded some time. If some of you are not following this, just contact me. Okay. Here always understand that whenever implication symbol comes, we are concentrating on implication only. If P is true or Q is true, that comes as additional information. Okay, let us stop at this point. The other things we shall discuss in another class. Is it okay? Any other doubts?
No, sir.
Only if you people ask me doubts, then I can explain. Then only you can understand properly. Otherwise, on examination day, it will be difficult. Okay. Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.